Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for attending Closing the Deal, Making Connections with Potential Pledges. My name is Jasmine Flores, and I am one of the consultants for the central office, and I'm excited to, tackle some of those last minute thoughts, last minute ideas, especially in regards to recruitment, as you are probably starting or ongoing your recruitment efforts. At any time, please feel free to add a question to the chat, raise your hand, unmute yourself, ask questions. We will have a couple minutes for Q&A at the end of the presentation, but please, this is for you all, so I'm happy to answer any questions as we go through the presentation. Cool. So our agenda for today, I'd like to cover a little bit of what is Delta Sigma Pi, what are some of those key points that you can discuss with potential recruits that may not know what a professional business fraternity, what Delta Sigma Pi is. Tools and best practices for following up with just anyone interested in joining. Best practices for organization fairs, year-round recruitment. Maybe you're interested in having two pledge programs during a specific term. We'll talk a little bit about that. Have a list of reminders as you are beginning your recruitment process. And like I said, some time for a quick question and answer session. All right. What is Delta Sigma Pi? As a member of Delta Sigma Pi, you should be able to answer these questions. However, with your recruits, we are a professional business fraternity. What does that mean? We are here to provide professional development, networking opportunities. We are here to serve our communities. And as a fraternity, we are here to create friendships, create educational, fun, social avenues for our students as well. We are an organization that does have expectations, such as dues as a member. We do have initiation fees, and we do have attendance policies for our chapters. So as specific officers within your chapters, this is a good opportunity to share what are the expectations for the pledge process, what are the expectations after initiation and after your time at your collegiate chapter. So remembering that it is a lifelong commitment full of network opportunities, a lot of experiences that they are able to take advantage of after graduation. So you all probably hear it's not just for 4 years, it is for life. And Delta Sigma Pi is open to business and related majors. Each chapter does have a list of qualified majors. So if you'd like to go on the website and see what specific majors can we recruit from, those are listed under your chapter locator, under your specific chapter. Now, what is not Delta Sigma Pi? So Delta Sigma Pi is not a social fraternity. It is not an honor society that you can join for a semester and come and go as you please and be involved some weeks and not involved other weeks. We are not a short-term group that you are just a part of during college that is specific to a college of business or a specific institution. And we are not open to business minders. So those are some of the distinctions that you can share with recruits. These are some of the things that you could share with your chapter members as you're going through recruitment training, or if you have a recruitment workshop of, hey, these are some of the things that we should be discussing when talking about the commitment of joining Delta Sigma Pi. All right, so some of the tools and best practices for following up when you are recruiting and you have a list of just names and emails. You might not know who they are. You might have received these names from your previous SVP, from the chapter that the officers that recruited the previous semester. But what are some of those things that you can send to the recruits of, hey, we have these upcoming recruitment events. When recruiting, it is important to give a time frame of, we have 5 events within the next 2 weeks. We have a mandatory event on this day, for example, the pledging ceremony, pledge meeting #1, and the Big Brother introductions, which do occur on the same day. So saying, hey, you are expected to attend this day. And just getting the information of, we will be reaching out to you by set date. Be personal and build an individual connection as you have a list of all these students. It is not just the senior vice president who should be making these connections. All chapter members should be meeting the recruits, getting to know them a little bit better, because at the end of the process, you do go through the voting process. So if you don't know any of your recruits, it is going to be a little bit more difficult to go through that process. Invite potential recruits to events, invite them to chapter meetings, have that personal connection of, hey, like, my name is Jasmine. I am the senior vice president. We are hosting a professional event on Tuesday, and we'd love for you to attend. If you'd like, we could meet outside of the library and we could walk together to this event. Being personal and a little bit more approaching that aspect. Be consistent with your reach outs and allow for recruits to see all the type of events that you hold prior to the pledging ceremony. So if you're saying, hey, what is your preferred method of communication, whether it's email, whether it's text, maybe it's both, sending an email list of all the events being held during recruitment a day before or a couple hours before. You could send a follow-up text. Hey, just a reminder, we are hosting a community service event in the library, room 101 at 7 p.m. It is business casual. We'll be having refreshments available. Just some of those things that think back to when you were recruiting, you maybe had those same questions of, all right, like, what is the expectation? How is this going to look like? And again, being that personable, easy to talk to kind of person, especially if you are the SVP or if you are working with your recruitment team. On the website, we do have a lot of communication templates where if you are sending specific invitations, you can copy and paste, add first names, times of events, dates, event titles, locations, a description. Those are there for you all to utilize. And, if you want to distribute those expectations to the rest of the chapter, it's an easy, hey, copy paste this. Can we send it to our 200 people on our list? All right, going into best practices for organization fairs. You should be looking out for these events that are being held either by your institution as a whole. Maybe it is student activities that host an organizational fair, maybe in September, maybe in January. If it is your college or school of business that hosts one specifically for business majors, be on the lookout for that. Ask if you all don't host one. Maybe it's held in the fall, but not in the spring. This could be an opportunity for your chapter to communicate with other clubs and orgs and say, hey, we should plan an organization fair for all the organizations in the business school. Anyway, so show up early enough to set up for the organization fair. On the screen, you'll see a quick setup with Delta Sigma Pi, the flag. We have, welcome to business majors, join DSP today, follow on here. It does say consultants@dsp.org, but on there, maybe you add your social media handles. If you have a recruitment video that you want to share from YouTube, there's an opportunity to showcase that. We have a check or a signage sheet where the recruits can add their name, email, phone number, and going back to that preferred type of communication. This sheet is also very important. So when you are inputting names, emails, those kind of things in the hub, you have that information ready to go. You can also have a separate Google form, making it a lot easier of insert your information. You'll receive an email with updates, and then we have your information electronically. That is also another way to go about that. There's goodies such as, candy. There are goodies, wristbands, pens, anything that you want to share with people that come up to your table. On the board, there are examples of events, pictures, expectations, the recruitment flyers on there as well. And those are things that you could share. If your chapter has business cards, another great opportunity, or if that is something that you're interested in getting, that could be something that you do within the next couple of weeks. When you are at this organization fair, stand in front of the table at all times. The worst thing that you could do is sit back and just let people come. Oh, like, hey, yeah, we're just here. No, go up to people, have a conversation, ask, hey, are you a business major? What is your major? Have them just answer the question. Is an easier way of starting that conversation. Oh, you're in business management. So am I, and so is this brother. Oh, can we offer you an invitation to our future event? Start the conversation, talk about, you know, those quick and easy things about Delta Sigma Pi. We are a professional fraternity. Our recruitment events are being held this same week in this same room. Please follow our social media for updates. Yeah, I'm pretty much already covered all the additional items. If you have any questions in regards to what are some of those additional best practices for organizational affairs, we do also have resources of that on dsp.org. All right, going to the next. Best practices for year-round recruitment. Yes, recruitment is not just held during the first, second week of classes. It should be held all year long. Your name, our name, Delta Sigma Pi is out there at all times. When your officers are planning open events, you know, you can collaborate with organizations across campus and make bigger scaled events for people to be aware of the name Delta Sigma Pi. So it is well known across the College of Business, School of Business, and entire campus, whether it's a fundraiser, maybe it's a professional event or community service event. Ask yourself, what is Delta Sigma Pi at my institution known for? Now, if you're maybe not able to answer that question, maybe that is something you take back to the chapter of like, what do we want to be known for? Do we want to be known for having the biggest career fair on campus besides the universities? Or do we want to have the biggest community service, the biggest impact to the Ronald McDonald House, the biggest fundraiser for X, Y, and Z? So those are things that can help your chapter then be well known and for you all to have a little bit of a leg up when it comes to recruitment. Always be on the lookout for a candidate that could be a great Delta Sig. Throughout your classes, if you notice that someone is, you know, participating in class, asking the questions, going above and beyond in those group projects, be like, hey, like we are looking for new members to join Delta Sigma Pi. You could share that business card that I was talking about earlier of like, hey, you should follow us on our social media. We'd love for you to come join one of our recruitment events or our open events throughout the year. Keep a running list of people who have shown interest and you've made a connection with. Maybe it's not a good term for them, whether it's, you know, they transferred to your institution, maybe want to get to know the campus a little bit better or just navigate their classes for a term, but maybe the following term might be better for them. Keep a running list of those names, those people, and just invite them to your events. Invite them to your events again, some term after term, and communicate with them, even if maybe it's not for them, maybe it's for one of their friends, or maybe they can assist with, I guess, giving you another name for another potential recruit. And maintain connections with your faculty. Your faculty are one of the biggest supporters of our chapters, so they could obviously give you that referral of, hey, these are the top 5 students that I've had in my classes. You should definitely connect with them. If they give you those recommendations and maybe they give you that platform of come into my class, give a quick presentation of the chapter. And if, you know, I'm also a part of Delta Sigma Pi, giving that additional credibility. You'll see how many times that, hey, like I heard about Delta Sigma Pi throughout classroom presentations. I saw them tabling. I saw them at the organization fair. They connected with the dean. That all builds up and people will be most likely wanting to join as well. All right, moving forward. We did want to bring up the opportunity for chapters that are thinking about hosting 2 pledge education programs. While not many have two programs in one term, it is an opportunity to look at your calendar of, all right, can we map it out that the programs are back to back. We do not allow for overlap in the program just because we want you to focus on one program prior to beginning a second one. So look at the dates, look at where your spring break falls, if there are holidays throughout the term, if you're traveling for lead or specific things like that. But if this is something that you're interested in, reach out, let us know, let the consultant team know, hey, we are looking to have a second program. We are able to open up the hub form so that you're able to submit those dates. We'll definitely review them and make sure that you're able to get a regalia trunk for the initiation. And like I said earlier, we don't like for them to overlap. And we also want to provide you all an opportunity to have those recruitment events, to have a little bit of a gap between the first and the second program. And the third step is to recruit. That's if you have the students interested and you want to have the second program, we are able to open that. All right, moving forward, here are some of the recruitment resources that we've probably stated or sent to you all multiple times. We do have the recruitment guide that is available online that is full of recruitment ideas, of recruitment checklist, supplies that you will utilize during those events, best practices guide of what should be held during a classroom presentation. Maybe the SVP is overwhelmed with all the events that they're planning. Hey, you could pass it on to the vice president professional activities to discuss a little bit about their role within the chapter, the events that they're hosting. Hand it over to the vice president community service, alumni relations. Utilize your officers, utilize all the brothers within the chapter, because if everyone has a role throughout the entire process, you will be very successful. And that's what we want recruiting to be. As I always hear, it's a stressful time. We have a lot going on. Like you always hear the sigh of relief in our offices of, oh, recruitment's over. No, recruitment is not over. It should be the ongoing process of we're always trying to find good candidates for a chapter to join to hopefully one day fill the positions that you're currently in. The talking points. If you're able to hit 2-3 points during each recruitment event of what is Delta Sigma Pi, what have you gained, what are you continuing to gain, and what can you give back to this organization. I think that's what a lot of students are looking for. They're looking for the opportunity to gain that professional development, to, yes, add things to their resume, but at the same time, make a difference within their community, but also gain those relationships and networking opportunities. So if you're able to give your own story through your recruitment, I know that was definitely one of the things that definitely got me to want to join. The marketing and communication templates, as I stated, share it with the brothers. If they are able to help you out as a senior vice president or in the recruitment committee, have them help you out. If you have a marketing promo that can be added to everyone's Instagram stories, share that ahead of time. Plan out your exact recruitment schedule of when are we posting what, so it makes sense, and how long of a heads up are we giving these potential recruits to plan ahead to be able to attend our events. And one of the things I always say is, how can you best support the chapter that in the officer positions that are going to take on your role after you? So if you have those relationships with your dean's office, have those resources put together so that when you do transition the position, it's like, hey, these are the resources, these are the things that I utilized, and how can we make this better? All right. A couple last minute reminders. Like I said, reach out to hub@dsp.org, reach out to our consulting team. If you have any updates within your pledge program, or if you'd like to have an additional pledge program during this upcoming term. If you are looking at the dates and something just maybe you want an extra week of recruitment, let us know, because that does impact not only your program, but it impacts when you receive the regalia trunk and when you have to send it or receive it from a different chapter. Create a recruitment workshop for your chapter as you're prepping for the upcoming start of the term. Look at a date, preferably maybe during a chapter meeting day. Can we have a quick 30-45 minute workshop of what is recruitment going to look like this term? What are some of those key points? How can you utilize your new members as those, hey, they just went through this process. They're probably really excited to, have a recruitment shirt if that is something that you all have. Be a part of the tabling opportunities, the recruitment events, have them pair up and maybe go to different classroom presentations or allow them to give a quick 2-3 minutes of their experience that they just went through last term. Sign up for any upcoming organization fairs or potential opportunities to have a little bit more exposure on campus. Even after your official recruitment period is over, continue to sign up for those fairs, those events, especially as your institution is probably bringing in new students for the freshman class, the first year class. If there are open events, sign up for those. Ask, are we able to assist with orientation or new student tours? I know there are specific programs or, student ambassadors, orientation guides, things like that, but how else can your chapter members assist with that? Or maybe if there are a couple of those members that are already part of those different organizations, can they give you the dates? And make sure to follow up with those that are showing interest in your chapter in the organization. We always receive emails of how can I join? dsp.org receives a lot of emails like that, but be on the lookout for those students that have shown interest and maybe didn't attend any events. All right, that was a lot. Any questions within the last couple slides that I just went through? Any questions of this is our plan? Would you like some feedback or love to hear from any other chapter across the country? I will stop sharing for you all, but any questions?